G'day everyone, welcome back to Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro. So today we're going to go through one of the, what I think is the crappiest characters ever to be in the halls of G.I. Joe, and that is Crystal Ball. Um, it's a character that I didn't have as a kid, never considered buying as a kid. Even as an adult, I think I got one in a lot, um, and was happy that that was just it. Um, Then the only problem after that was getting that one bloody accessory that he comes with. And I think it took me about 2 years after I got the figure to get the shield. The shield is a painful thing. To me, it was difficult to find in the first place. And then to get that bloody sticker on it, never seen it. Never seen the sticker before in real life. It's not a really widely found object. And it kind of irritates me that this character that I don't think about, I don't think much about anyway, is now just taunting me with being able to complete it. I have been looking over the years of trying to find repro stickers around. And here in Australia, I haven't seen any for sale. And I just can't be asked buying a repro sticker from internationally and then paying $10 or something postage, waiting a month for something that's repro anyway. So my thing was, and I've been looking for this over the past 6 months to 8 months, looking for ways of doing that sticker that you know didn't mean like ways of finding a way for me to be able to do it. And my standards for whatever the shield would look like, they're not high at all. I just wanted something that would uh, quite well reflect the fact that it was some kind of hypnosis shield. Um, when I went to Malaysia and there was a sticker vendor there, I checked out what stickers he had. Um, they didn't have the right sizes, and there's been a whole bunch of factors in this journey. One of them, well, the most important thing to me is I'm happy to take my time as long as I'm still always looking into it. Now, recently, the fact of what seems to be Walmart's incompetence of being able to secure purchases for our American friends has brought Crystal Ball back into my attention. Um, Most recently, I watched a video from 3 Star Drawl, which is Down South 77, and him talking about his dealings with Walmart and his friend Muhammad and his friend Muhammad. I absolutely loved it. Go check out his video. It was making me sad listening to a guy just trying to order a toy whilst also making me laugh, badly at his journey to do that. I've been wondering actually how that Crystal Ball classified would look, noting that, I also thought the Raptor was pretty shitty as a character toy as well in the 80s, but they seem to do that really well in the classified. So my prediction, a while ago when they first talked about Crystal Ball, my prediction was that it actually, from what we saw with Raptor, how he was done, my prediction was actually that we were going to see a pretty decent Crystal Ball, but I didn't know how that would look. And seeing the pictures of what it looks like, I actually quite like it. But yeah, so in this video today, I'm going to go through a few things with you, but it's all focused on me having a good Crystal Ball with his accessories, and I can finally stop my journey of trying to complete him. I've gone to a certain level of standard where I'm completely happy with what I've done, and I'm going to run you through all that process. That process consists of I do own his shield, his original shield, um, but I chucked a sticker onto it, and we're going to run through that. And while I was there, I also, because I get into these sort of curious modes occasionally, and I thought, well, why can't I just try and recreate the shield as well, seeing as I'm also looking at the sticker? So I'm going to run you through that, and in that, I'm actually going to show you me designing it. It's the first time that I've done it in any of my videos on my channel. Usually I just keep a lot of that design stuff to myself. But in this video, you're going to see me design Crystal Ball Shield and exactly how I did it. So yeah, let's crack in. Okay, so here we are. We've got our main man, Crystal Ball. He was a very fancy character. There was a lot of detail put into this figure. I think how they've done it with the classified is really good. And I wish they had have done something like that back then and not just given him a hypno shield and some red eyes. Also really like how he was done in like the 2010-ish Cobra series. I thought they really got that well done. Just that creepy ass gypsy guy who knows what you're thinking, so don't go near him. Don't look at him. Don't speak to him. Okay, so there's the figure. Here's the shield. This is the OG part. It's, this, like I said, it took me a few years to actually get one of these. And I think it was in a lot. So when I've talked just previously about stickers, I don't want to give you the misconception. I'm using double-sided tape with stuff, okay? So that's the original piece. Now, let me tell you about this holographic pleather trim. I found this at my local Kmart. This thing for 2 meters cost $4. It's a big tube of it. It's really, it's reasonably thick. And they had multiple different shades. I think there was a silver version of this holo as well. And there was vinyl wraps, and there was a whole bunch of different stuff. And I just grabbed this. I thought for $4, like, even if this doesn't work, I'll use it for something. So I grabbed this. That was another component. And then one thing that I had to really sort of take care of was how I was going to measure this to then be able to put it perfectly onto that. So what I did originally was I got some paper and I etched that around like this. And it sort of created this circle, and then I cut it out, and I used that, and I thought it was all smart until I started cutting the pleather around that circle, that paper circle. And then I just cut through it. So it wasn't a circle anymore. So the piece that I cut had this like straight line on the edge. I was like, God, there's got to be something better. So then I remembered that I'm not too bad with a 3D printer, and I measured this inside part with my caliper. So this is one of the main tools that I use for my art is a digital caliper. So I literally put it on, put it at 0, and then measured that. measured that, and I think when I measured it earlier, it come out at like 27.5, to which I know that with 3D printers, it's not always exact. So it's always better to err a little bit looser. So I went 27.4 and I created this. So this is, I've put the word crystal ball in there, the name crystal ball. So this is what I sort of, I just wanted something I could put up against the pleather and hold it, and needed to be nice and strong, and I could just cut around it. So yeah, once I had that, I was then able to cut out some shapes, and I've purposely I've done a couple of these, but I wanted to show you the process. So all I did was I put this sort of against that, and I just cut a long strip. Now that I have this, then the next step was putting it onto the back side of the pleather. I wouldn't put it on the front because I don't want it to get scratched. And then simple as just cutting around it. Now I'm showing you all of this, not to prove what a smarty pants I am, but just in case you want to try doing this at home with your own crystal ball, because you don't actually need a 3D printer disc to do that. You could go down the paper route. As an aside, though, if you live in Australia and you want to just buy one of these ones I've made, I'll be chucking them up onto eBay. I actually did that to Savi, so they're ready to go. Okay, so easy peasy. I then had a pretty nice round piece of holographic pleather. I with this double-sided tape, I actually put the double-sided tape on. It was square, and I just went around the inner ring with a Stanley knife and just pulled it all off. And then that's given me this nice sticky surface, to which I then just apply my pleather. And on the others, I was going around the edges with my fingernail, just sort of, in my brain, it feels like I'm tucking it in, but yeah. So there you go. That's how I've sort of got my crystal ball hypno shield. And like I said, to do this and be happy with it, you need to accept that this is not going to be a lenticular sticker like the original. But that's okay to me. But if you are a perfectionist, and you can't handle that, don't go anywhere near this. That's quite easy. I know you're probably sitting there saying, that's okay, I won't. But this is excellent to me. I really like it. And I liked this color that was there, which is the sort of pinkish hue holographic. The other one was a silver, and I just thought it was a bit sort of plain. This reminded me a lot of the Tonka toys from the 80s that had the holograph front on them. So yeah, it goes on just fine, and that's how it looks. Now let me know in the comments if you think this looks like poop. Just let me know. If you think it looks good, let me know. I am really just on my own journey here, And whilst I'm on this journey, I'm trying to help you guys too. I wanted to give you a really super cheap and easy option to be able to fix your crystal ball hypno shields. Okay, so that's the OG piece. You've now just witnessed me do that. Now, the other thing I did, like I mentioned, was I designed a repro shield. So let's just quickly go through my design phase, and yeah, let's listen to some nice music while we do that. Here we go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, that's the first time I've ever shown my design skills on my channel. If you think that that's something cool that you'd like to see more of, let me know. I have thought about making channel members videos of some of my designs. But yeah, if there's a couple of you that like it and would like to watch them again in the future, just let me know in the comments. Coming off the printer, here is that design that I just did. It's I was actually, a little bit proud of myself today for doing this. And when I did this, like you can see in the original, it has two of these bits that sort of come in a little bit. And I didn't really like the idea of that. Just through my experience with 3D printing and design, I felt that just one was going to be enough and that could sit on the top of his arm. So yeah, as you can see, it's all measured exactly. So what you can see on the top here, that's the support structure. Because there's, like I printed it like this, the plate was underneath it. It has to put something there so then it can create these layers on top. And we call that support structure. So we're just going to take that out. And once again, I wanted you to be able to see this only because it sort of gives you more of an idea of, the whole repro thing and how I do my business. This is funny. I did two of these this Arby, and because they were still a little bit warm, they just came straight off. But these ones have been sitting for a little bit, so they yeah, there we go. Just a little bit more difficult than the previous ones. I actually need the knife. Be careful with your knives, people. Okay. And that's it. That one's all taken care of. I'm going to do two for you guys. Yep, that one just came straight off. All good. All right. So we'll stick our original there with Mr. Ball. Oh, a little bit of stuff just there. You want to make sure all of that support structure is out because you're going to be putting the double-sided tape on it and you don't want bumpy parts. Okay, so next step is, like I said, we get some double-sided tape. I got really thin stuff. I already had this sitting around as well. I didn't go out and purpose buy it for this. So like that. And then like that. And then go around the outsides. Just with your fingernail. So you can see that's really ingrained in. And then we get our knife. And we're just going to cut along that. Once again, being really careful with the knife. I've dropped a whole bunch of super glue on my fingers. I've drilled into one of my fingers. And I'm really scared that even as I'm saying to you, be careful, I'm still going to do something. Just remember as well, this is all fun. If you're Mr. Serious Pants who likes everything to be perfect and you always like to be right, then this probably isn't the process for you because it's just not the lenticular sticker. Okay, that one's right. And then once again, we're going to do this twice. You can see I'm not fluking it. Make sure all that support structure's gone. Put our sticker down. This does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be enough on the majority that it is holding that holographic platter down. Like that. Take those off. And that one does not want to come off. Luckily, I've got a knife on my side. These two will be heading to eBay, so I do want to make sure that they are the best I can do. So that one, and then that one. Let me know in the comments as well if you're a bit of a handy person and you do this kind of stuff as well. Not talking about 3D printing so much, but just in general, finding ways to fix your figures. There he is. Okay, now, so what we're going to do is, like before, we're going to put this little chip or token or whatever you want to call it onto there. You're just holding on to it. You just want to try and make sure it's as perfect as possible. Give it a little haircut. And then like that. Take one of these off. And then just put him on. And just try and tuck that in. I don't actually know if the tucking in part does anything, but it makes me feel better. Okay. So just to show you, this is the one you literally just saw me put together. And to show you how this works, so because this is the test, right? It's all good to say you can make stuff, but does it work? Now, to me, the standards for this thing, like working, will be that it'll sit on his arm and it won't just slide off. I made sure I made this super strong as well, just so that it didn't break really easily. But yeah, so it's just a matter of sliding it onto his arm like that, and then we just turn it. We just turn it a little bit more. And that's it. So we can bring it down now like we had his original. And that's it. What do you think? To me, this is the figure that I'll be going in. This is my figure from my cabinet. So I'll be issuing him his original, his OG piece. And if I ever do find the lenticular sticker, this is just double-sided taped on. So I just rip it off and I put the lenticular sticker on. But until then, these will do just fine for me. Let me know in the comments whether you think this is an acceptable standard. I'm sort of along the lines of, when it's your own collection, it's good enough. When you think it's good enough. I've made a couple of these. I've put them up onto eBay. And yeah, we'll see how they go. But, it's not about making the money, because literally I've got them up for $8 to me. And, noting eBay takes 14%. It's also about knowing that I'm helping people out with this stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think. Also, I want to let you know as well, my channel members for the month of, or the rest of April, will be getting a free one of these. I just ask that they pay postage. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to join up to the channel. It's $3 Australian a month, or I worked it out, it's $1.80 American per month, and you'll get an extra 2 to 3 videos a week. Plus, I do these little parts deals for my members as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. But until then, until that next video drops, stay frosty, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.